Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. My gods and spirit team, talk to me about the Rams here in early to mid-September. What energies, messages, insights do you have for us this week? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries. In early to mid-September, what's happening? The seasons are a-changing. The year's continuing to move along quite quickly from my perspective. Let's see what's happening. There we go. Thank you. Beautiful. So this I always find extremely intriguing, because at first it just looks like someone looking down at a creation. But in reality, this is a guardian angel. So there's also spiritual undertones to this. Lots of focused intent, lots of manifesting. So these could be very good energies to lead off with here. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this individual bald-headed with a Vitruvian man right on the head. And it's hard to see, but in the background, there's angel wings here. So, of course, for some Aries out there, this could just be a little affirmation of spiritual protection. Guardian angels, guides, spirit teams, whatever label you want to put on it. For some of you, might just need to know, like, you're being watched over, you're protected, you're not alone. But aside from that, notice he's looking at that baby. So there are undertones of creation. There's undertones of focus. For some Aries out there, there might be a situation that you are highly focused on. Maybe spirit wants you to focus on other things, or maybe hone in on something a little better. That's possible as well. But to me, this is a huge card of manifesting, creating. So just know, for us Rams in this time, our powers to create and bring things forth could be highly heightened, just to put it simply, right? I don't want to get too fancy with the wordplay, but yeah, spiritual protection, we have manifestation, but we also have focus. So we're just going to put him down there for right now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Aries collective. Guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There was a pretty good vibe I was picking up last week. Reading was titled A Massive Offer. So for some of you, it could have come in the way of conversation. For some of you, just know offers and opportunities, they're always knocking at some point, and that could lead over for a couple of weeks. So keep that in mind. There might be various new things, new ventures, new ideas, or at least emotional offers that could be coming in. So let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards to start us off. What do you have for the Aries collective? Thank you. Magician. So just as I was saying it with this very first card, we have the biggest card of manifestation rolling out here. So that's already a double dose. That could be very, very good. Okay, now the Magician is a pretty in-depth energy, in-depth card. Okay, it does have a lot of the little sub-notes we were already talking about. Let's keep going, though. That could be very exciting. King of Swords. Okay, lots of control showing up within this. Okay, let's get one more, and we'll start piecing this all together. Very stern type of energy as well. Okay, strength, good. All right, so there is a ton of universal spiritual energy around the Aries collective, way more than usual. That's one thing I'll say here. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, doesn't really matter all the things you might be dealing with from day to day. There's big picture type of energy showing up here. But yeah, first look, first glance, I'm looking here. We have 2 very powerful major arcana. We have 2 cards that could represent control. whether controlling yourself or controlling a situation. Notice that both of these major arcana, Strength and the Magician, they both have the infinity symbol over it as well, which, I mean, that could be karmic energy for sure, but we'll dig a little deeper on that. But I'm feeling a sternness, a seriousness, but also a heightened power. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, we have the Magician, the master of all elements. And you see him there with the wand. There's all the different elements showing up within here. And I'm just going to run down a list of some of the things that could represent this Magician. It's a card of spirituality. So investing in your own spirituality could be important. The Magician, of course, is a card of manifesting, creating, pulling things towards you. So just like we saw with that very first card, this is a double down of that energy. Just know in this time, what you focus on, you could be bringing it towards you very quickly. If there's a certain outcome you're wanting or a certain situation you're wanting to resolve, whether positive or negative, I feel like you're creating a lot in this time. And just know it could arrive like that real quick when you get this energy in the mix. The Magician, aside from spirituality and ritual and all that stuff, in its rougher sense and in its positive sense, it could just represent control. Somebody wants to control their route, their way, what's going on, whether it's with situations or life's journey in general. This is a big picture type of card. But in its rougher sense, the Magician could warn us against any sort of dark spirituality. So that's something to keep in mind for some of you, obviously not all. The Magician can also warn us about situations where we're being too controlling, or we might not even have control over how something goes. We just need to say it, like something might be out of our hands when we look at the rough side of this Magician. So we'll definitely dig into that deeper. I feel like that's going to be one of the cornerstones of this reading, as will this next card. Moving over, we have the King of Swords, air sign energy. For some of you, you might be connected to Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If that's not the case, and remember, it's not gender specific, I always say kings represent control of their respective suit. So notice we have this theme with the King of Swords and the Magician. There's something like steering the way or trying to control an outcome when this is here. Hopefully it's for the positive. Now, the King of Swords is about the mental, the mind, the thought processes. It's very smart. It's intelligent. It sees things clearly. It's also one of the cards of planning. So this is something else we're going to want to look at. Or is there a strategy you need to come up with? Is somebody else planning something? That could be very possible when this King of Swords is here. And it's very stern, strict in its ways. Okay, so I mean, you might not be messing around in regards to something when this is here. Very straightforward to the point, and everyone knows that Aries energy can be very blunt. This is a blunt energy as well. In its rougher sense, like I said, just like with this Magician, it could represent situations where you might not have a lot of control or something could be out of your hands, but it could also be signaling something serious. I always say that with this King of Swords, like he's very stern in his ways, and it could be either something we need to take seriously or something that is. Now, moving to the very back end, we have the beautiful Strength card. For a portion of you, you might be connected to a Leo or have Leo placements yourself. That's not always the case here. I feel like this to me is a card of character. Now, I will speak about it since there is that infinity symbol. This is an angelic energy as well, similar to this. So yeah, we could be looking at karma, karmic archetypes, karmic situations. We'll just have to see what's up. But Strength to me, again, is a card of determination and character, who you are as a person on the inside. The determination is showing up here strong, especially with these other cards, which is good. So it could be Spirit telling you to keep pushing, keep pushing. This is fighting one's demons with love as opposed to brute force. And often in the negative sense, when I see the Strength card, it could be a couple of things. Either Spirit's testing us in one way or another, testing our resolve, or this could be temptation. I always say that here, because there is an aspect with the Strength card, like, can you hold up to temptation of some kind? So we are just going to put that down right there. Yeah, Aries, I want to dive deeper in all of it, so let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for the Rams, please. What do we got in early to mid-September? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Magician. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay. Why is this Magician here? Cool, thank you. And, you know, this is something I saw for you a couple weeks ago. For a portion of you, you could be trying to manifest something back into your life, whether it be a situation or a person. I see it here, and if that's something you're wanting to do, you could absolutely pull that off with this alignment of energy, because I've been seeing it for a lot of other signs, like there's energies cycling back, returning. We have the Death card in reverse, which does talk about things cycling back. So for some of you, if there's something you're wanting to revisit, you could revisit it if that's something that you're wanting to do. But another thing I will say, out of the 4 cards we have out, Karmic. So I really want to look at these archetypes as we move forward, because now there's like spiritual energy from the outside coming in. Now, the Death card, it's a very complex energy as well. Scorpio energy. So you might be connected to Scorpio or have placements in Scorpio yourself. But when I see the Death card, it's not an ending per se. I usually see this as a card of reinventing something, remaking oneself. So for a lot of Aries in this time, you might be trying to remake or revamp an area of your life, reimagine something, rise from the ashes like a phoenix. So I feel like it's a triple message. Either one, there is something you're trying to revamp or reimagine. 2, for a portion of you, it's manifesting something back, whether you realize it or not. Could be a return of some sort. And these powerful, strong karmic archetypes are here. So that could tell us that some Aries, things you might be dealing with, specific challenges you might be going through, were meant to be. Even if that's not the nicest message, it's like, oh, well, you were meant to go through this for one reason or another, whether it's to learn a lesson or to help someone on their path. Let's keep moving forward. I don't want to get hung up there too long. But again, powerful energy across the board. Let's go in on that King of Swords. Really want to get over to strength too. So why is the King of Swords in the mix? Thank you. Another karmic card. Okay. And I don't want to be too one note here, Aries, but even with the very first card that showed up with that angelic being, now 4 of the 5 cards out are karmic in nature. Okay. So the 7 of Pentacles showing up in reverse. Okay, for some of you, if you are going through a struggle or a situation or a problem, this is extremely analytical. It might be up to you to find a way through something, okay? So even if you're not going through anything rough right now, if any trials, tribulations, or problems pop up in this time, you might have to take the reins and make a plan to find your way through. I will also say this, 7 of Pentacles with this planning energy, there could be someone you're connected to that has plans and strategies in the works. Now, I'm not necessarily getting anything negative here, but I just get so much strategy, like, all right, well, this is how this is going to go, and then I'll do this, then they should say that. I just get a lot of brainstorming, which I also saw here with the reimagining. So it's like we have a lot of the similar archetypes. We have this powerful karmic energy in the mix. For a portion of you, these are both energies that could be swinging back around. So watch out for repeating themes, repeating issues, repeating problems. Hopefully this is repeating something good. But yeah, the 7 of Pentacles in the upright is usually very patient, calm, not doing much, waiting to see how something goes. In reverse, it's like, yeah, I'm not waiting. Time to take action. So just know if you're going through any issues right now, it might be on you to take the reins and find a way through it. To take that action, which I know as an Aries myself, we don't have a problem with that. But again, the karmic energy showing up in a really strong way. So if you are going through certain things, it is meant to be. If things are quiet, that might not be quiet for long with all this karmic energy. It's very transformative, okay, and change-based. So there could be a lot of situations you're dealing with that are going through a metamorphosis or a big change. So let's see what strength has to say. And we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. So what is happening with strength? Thank you. Yep. Another card of manifesting. Okay, another 7 as well. So we have the 7 of Cups in the upright. Now, something I like to say here, Aries. Now, I always like to mention that we are all creator beings. Whether we lean into it or whether we don't, whether it's something we already know or whether it's something we still have to learn. The 7 of Cups, just like the Magician, just like that very first card, is all about creating your way through. So this could be very positive for some of you. If you're trying to bring something good and positive into your life, the energy is available for you to do that. It's very supportive for Aries to bring various things in. But do you want to revisit something, or do you want to bring something fresh in? It's really all about that. Now, I also say the Seven of Cups is my card of options, paths, choices. So whatever it is you might be going through, know that there might be more options on the table than you think. Something might turn out in a very positive way here. It's like options are opening up because we've been having this reimagining. Now the menu board of life shows up here. It could also be daydreamy, so I could also say this for some Aries: don't psych yourself out about certain things. Like if you overthink and psych yourself out, that could be possible here. But the main vibe I'm picking up is there's a lot you can bring in. There's a lot of options and opportunities, and this powerful karmic energy and the reimagining. It's like all these themes are coming through strong, strong, strong. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Yes, with the repeating numbers, all the karmic energy showing up within this mix, just know like a big time of change and metamorphosis could really be in the mix. And for a portion of you, whatever it is you might be dealing with was meant to be for one reason or another, even if it's frustrating. But if you kindly look here in the box, position number 1, we have the Magician with the Death card in reverse. A portion of you might be trying to manifest something back, or to give something another go, give something another shot. It's like the energy of something returning. Okay, if you're not purposely doing that, you might be subconsciously doing that when this energy is in the mix. The Magician and Death in reverse, again, that's the reimagining. Like, okay, let's change this, let's tweak this. But that karmic situation, the karmic change, is really here heavy as well. Moving to the center, we have the King of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Aside from the same themes we were picking up here in the front, I do feel like this is someone that could be putting a plan into motion. Like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to do it. That's how it's going to go. For a portion of you, things that you're going through, you might have to take the reins and make the moves to push something forward. On to the back end, we have Strength with the Seven of Cups in the upright. So beautiful. You have more options and opportunities than you think you do. But again, this powerful magnetic manifestation energy is here. So I would take advantage of it while the energy is supporting us. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that, Aries. Let's see what's in the shadows. Of course, if you want to look into them further. But let's see what shadows has for us. What do we have? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What is in the shadows for us? Thank you. Okay, 8 of Cups. All right, so for some of you, you might be on the verge of giving up on something, or you might be reaching a point of frustration when the 8 of Cups shows up in the shadows. And this is a very common card to show up in the shadow side. It's usually we see this person walking away from the 8 of Cups. So if it's not that, if there's not something you're getting a little tired of or something you're thinking about giving up on, when I see the 8 of Cups, it is action, where it's like, all right, I got to do something. I got to switch something up. I got to shake something up. In its worst case scenario, for some of you in recent times, maybe abandonment issues have been triggered, okay, or you're worried about things in that realm. But this isn't necessarily a terrible card. To me, it is that energy of reimagining, shaking things up, changing them. And with all the karmic energy we've been seeing this week, it makes sense that we would see this 8 of Cups, because it's like, all right, we got to move forward with something. But again, I feel like there might be something you shouldn't give up on quite yet. That's another message I'll give, especially with what all we saw in the reading this week. So yeah, Aries, that's what I have for you, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.